Kind of just maybe their O-line, probably the best O-line we faced. Um, I feel like they're probably the strength of their offense probably, and then their quarterback can make plays, extend plays, stuff like that.
Their freshman, Caden Proctor, at the tackle position. Seen a lot of growth from him. What stands out to you when you watch tape?
I feel like he's a good tackle, does some good things. Feel like we'll match up good though.
Mason, you grew up not too far from here. What's it like to come back home and play a game like this?
Yeah, it's always cool. When I was growing up, people always like dreamed of playing in this game, and it's an honor to be able to play in this game. So.
Was it a thing you always kind of had on a bucket list when you were a kid, or is this kind of just surprised you all at once?
Yeah, personally, I always wanted to play in this game, but when I was growing up, I never really went to a Rose Bowl game, so it's good to be here.
Oh, I'm sorry, my phone.
No, you're good.
Hey, Mason, when you compare Alabama to the teams that you played previously, can you kind of give me maybe what you see difference and maybe what some similarities?
Yeah, I feel like particularly coming from their quarterback, I feel like we kind of faced a similar type opponent in Maryland's quarterback. He could extend plays with his feet, and he could throw the ball too. So I feel like that was a good challenge for us earlier in the year.
How did your time at high school around here, growing up, shape you as the player you are today?
Yeah, I feel like that had a lot to do with the player I am today. All the relationships I built with my high school buddies down here, all my high school coaches that are still down here to this day. I feel like it's really helped me and shaped me to who I am. Yeah.
Get a lot of phone calls when this game was booked.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Mason, you play physical teams like Penn State, Ohio State, and the Big Ten. Do you feel like that moniker that the SEC is bigger, tougher, faster, is that overblown? Or is that something you want to prove to the nation on Monday?
Yeah, I feel like it is. A little bit overblown. I feel like people in the Big Ten are just as good as the SEC. So, yeah.
What were your thoughts when you found out you guys were playing Alabama in the playoffs?
It was pretty cool. I kind of expected Alabama to be in that 4th spot, so I wasn't really surprised at all. Ready for the challenge.
Was it true that, we all saw on social media that there was kind of like groans or gasps when you guys saw you were playing Alabama. Was it really like that within your guys' selection show, or were you guys just like, okay, this is the team we're playing?
Yeah, I think it was more of just like a ooh, like people didn't expect them, I don't know, but I kind of expected Alabama to be there, so.
What is the identity of this defense from what you've been able to grasp? How has this group come together?
Yeah, I feel like we just play with that, 11-on-1 mentality. We just have 11 guys always up by the ball, so it's 11 against 1 at all times. So.
Jason, I feel like a lot of teams have to manufacture motivation, but with Coach Harbaugh's suspension and everything that's gone around your program, do you feel like that has kind of unified your team as kind of the Michigan versus the world mentality?
Yeah, for sure. When Coach Harbaugh wasn't there to help in some of the biggest games of our season this year, we kind of all rallied together. Coach Moore, all the coaches, all the players. So I feel like that really brought us closer.
Behind the scenes, what are some things that Harbaugh does to motivate you guys that maybe the cameras don't pick up on?
Yeah, I feel like we don't really need too much motivation. We motivate each other, push each other to be the best we can every day. So.
I guess since you've been here, there's always been NFL rumors with Coach Harbaugh. We talk about just how you dealt with that, even obviously going into your freshman year, into your sophomore year. It's been the same thing even this year.
Yeah, I've always heard the rumors and stuff, but we're kind of just focused on this game right now, this season. I know Coach Harbaugh's the same way, so we'll see what happens after the season, but kind of on this game right now.
Mason, Coach Minner just talked about how big their offensive line is. As an interior D lineman, when you find out a matchup, do you look at height, weight? Is it more about film? Is it more about footwork, hand? What are some of the things you really focus on when you're playing a new team like this?
Yeah, I feel like height, weight is part of it, what factors in, but I really try to look at the film and kind of just see ways that other people are playing them and see what they're doing is working or what's not working. So we definitely looked into that, and I think we match up pretty well.
Wouldn't call Southern California a pipeline for Michigan. What drew you out to Ann Arbor when you were in high school?
I just felt like the perfect opportunity fell into place. I wanted to just experience something new, get out from the West Coast, just be uncomfortable, and Michigan kind of allowed me to do that.
How's that been? Has that everything you wanted when you were in high school? So
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
What have you seen specifically from Alabama center Seth McLaughlin, and then
Yeah, I feel like they're both really good players. I feel like their O-line really works well together, and I think that starts at the center position. So I feel like they've really done a good job. So we'll be good.
Laughlin struggled with some high snaps, some errant snaps a few times this year. Is that something that you could exploit on tape? You kind of bull rush him more? Is that something you picked up on in your study?
Yeah, I've seen a few of those, but it's not a major area of emphasis for us. But
Mason, you mentioned coming out to Ann Arbor being a little uncomfortable and just the recruiting process in general. Did you know or have an inkling that you would play as much as you did as a true freshman and now, obviously, one of the staples on the defense?
yeah, I kind of came into it with an open mind, just kind of how really every freshman comes in like ready to work, trying to do whatever I can to get on the field or get some type of playing time. So I felt like that's kind of what I tried to attack, and things just fell into place.
How well did you know Kenneth before, like as the recruiting process was going on when you guys came in together?
Yeah, I didn't really know him too much, but we OV'd on the same weekend. I think it was the Washington game. So we talked a little bit there, but we didn't really know each other too much until we kind of moved to Ann Arbor officially.
Hey, Mason, just welcome home.
Thank you.
How's it feel?
Feels pretty good to be back home.
I'm sure you've probably already gone with this, but friends, family, I mean, what's this week look like for you?
Yeah,
How far did you go up?
I'm probably like 45 minutes south of here. Yeah, like Orange County area.
How many friends, family? You got?
Just kind of like my immediate family is really coming because I was only able to get 6 tickets. So yeah, but I'm sure some of my other friends will be in the stands and stuff like that. So.
Have you thought of just from the history standpoint of Alabama, Michigan, and the Rose Bowl, like you look back 20, 30, 40 years and just remember what an iconic matchup this is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, they call this game the granddaddy of them all, so it's an honor to play in this game. A lot of history behind it, so motivating.
Mason, how do you think the players have handled the distractions over the second half of the season with Coach Harbaugh getting suspended and all the rest?
I think we've handled it pretty good. Like I said earlier, I felt like it's brought us closer together. We kind of just played for each other, played for Coach Harbaugh, and just kind of took it every game at a time.
So when that kind of stuff is happening, like when people are talking about your team or talking about your coach, do you have to do anything specific to block that noise out? Like, do you have to get off social media, turn off the TV?
No, I don't think, because I feel like even if we turn off social media, we're going to hear it regardless. So just kind of just like being where we are, being with our team, being with our guys. So just focusing on every game.
Michigan has such an unbelievable alumni that have gone on to do great things in the NFL. Brady, Woodson, Aiden Hutchinson recently. Are there any of those former players that still stay in contact with this team?
Yeah, a few of those guys were back at the Ohio State game when we played them. I know Aiden was there. Some of our players from last year were there. I know Mike Morris, Ronnie Bell, some of those guys were here for that game. So it's always cool seeing the guys come back and support us because they know what it means to us.
What specifically does this defense have to do to win?
I feel like make no mistakes, play as one, fly to the ball, and just play a really sound defense against a good offense.
With a mobile quarterback like Jalen Milroe, how much emphasis is there for you interior guys when it comes to lane discipline and just keeping him, or is that more an edge linebacker thing? Like, how does that balance work out when you guys are getting ready for a mobile guy like that?
Yeah, I feel like that kind of factors into everyone who's rushing the passer, because we're going to be in different maybe blitzes, rushes, stuff like that. That'll get people in those situations where they might have the opportunity to escape, but we just need to contain them and best we can.
He said Alabama was 4th and 31 away from not being here at this game. I was interested. Did you watch the end of that Iron Bowl, or did you have any thoughts on watching that game?
Yeah, I watched that last play. It was a good play by that receiver. So, they kind of put it together there.
Was there any matchup when you were going over film with Alabama that you guys found particularly helpful in your preparation?
Not necessarily. Just I feel like we have a good game plan going forward. So, just kind of executing that to the highest level, and I think we'll be just fine.
simulator for Jalen Milroe. Just, Coach Minter talked about him trying to do the best he could with it, but also said it might be unfair to compare Alex to a guy who finished the Heisman voting. Just how do you think he's done over the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Alex is always a big help when he's over with us. Great athlete, as everyone knows. Kind of just the best look we have for a quarterback like what they have. So he's been just great with his preparation.
Do the coaches get a little looser with the no touching the quarterback rule when it's such a mobile guy that you guys are actually going to be chasing around a little bit more? How does that work?
Yeah, we kind of just try to just stay on him more. Maybe tap off or maybe even thud a little bit. So just kind of just whatever we can to help best prepare us.
Size-wise, Alabama's got the biggest offensive line you guys are going to see this year, but do they compare at all to Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa, any of those teams?
Yeah, I kind of said they were a little similar to Penn State, just kind of the way they play, trying to run the ball downhill because that's what they want to do, and I think that's what they'll try to do early on in the game. So.
Yesterday, Coach Harbaugh told me that he sees Alex Orji maybe turning into a player like Jalen Milroe down the line for Michigan. Do you see any of that in practice?
Yeah, I always see glimpses and stuff like that of him, like being an explosive player that he is. So I could definitely see why he said that, and it kind of makes sense.
As far as getting pressure on the quarterback, does the interior of the defensive line feel any more pressure to get to a guy like Milroe who could, if you give him enough time, he could throw, he could run, those receivers are really good?
Yeah, he's a dangerous player. Just we need to be relentless in our pass rush. Just keep working at all times. Just kind of have the whole D-line working together on the rush, so maybe he doesn't escape or make those explosive plays as much.
How important is that first contact going to be? If you get a hand on him, you've got to stop him or get him down, because there's been times this year that he shakes one off or he spins out of the tackle and starts running.
Yeah, that's a big emphasis, just finishing tackles, just finishing the play, not taking good angles to the ball, not overrunning the ball or underrunning the ball, just stuff like that.
Mason, I forget how long it's been in which hand, but how's the hand health?
Yeah, it's good. I went to the doctor last week and they said it's 100, so.
No club this week?
Nah.
Mason, I was talking to a few of your teammates, and they mentioned that you guys had a history lesson about the Rose Bowl yesterday, and a lot of them didn't really know much about the past. But as a local guy, did you have any clear connection with this game?
Yeah, I had some, but I wasn't too tuned in, maybe as to the Rose Bowl when I was younger. But I mean, yesterday really opened my eyes too, kind of to the actual history of the game and the teams that I've played in it before. And kind of just the outcomes of the past games.
Was there anything with the guys that haven't been out to LA before, any place that you were talking up as a spot that you guys need to check out or really hyped up or anything?
Not really, nah. Not really, nah.
I was watching some Michigan games last week, and I came across the play against Bowling Green where your helmet got ripped off. What was the conversation with that guy?
It was just, heat of the moment stuff, what happens.
Does this one feel different? Obviously last year, the Fiesta Bowl playoff game against TCU. This year, bigger name game, bigger name opponent. Does it feel any different?
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little different. We're taking the stuff from last year and kind of just fine-tuning everything and knowing the expectation of what it's like to be here, what it means to play in this game. So just kind of taking every day by itself.
Is there pride on the line for the Big Ten against the SEC?
I wouldn't say that. It's just another football game against two great teams. So I don't feel like it should be a Big Ten SEC battle, just two good teams going at it.
How does it feel to kind of return home for this game?
Yeah, it feels good. Just a lot of family, friends reaching out. Just excited to see me play in this game.
Mason, do you know anybody on Alabama's team? Obviously, they recruit nationally as well. I mean, just curious if you have any connections with anybody over there.
Nah, I don't know anyone on the team.
Everybody's been talking about how big they are up front. What have you seen from them? It was Kenneth that told me that you said they look different on film than even Ohio State. Is that true?
Yeah, I would say that too. Even seeing some of those Georgia clips, that kind of went viral, I guess. I feel like they're a well-coached team, a well-coached O-line. They work well together. I mean, their quarterback complements them too. He can make plays with his feet when the pocket does kind of collapse a little bit. So I just feel like they're well-coached and they work really well together. Good group.
When you've got a guy that's that big, how do you have to adjust the way you play when they've got that much weight behind them?
Yeah, probably just focusing a lot on our fundamentals, technique, stuff like that. Kind of helps against the bigger guys when you're kind of in a little weight deficit. But I don't expect it to be maybe too much of a crazy jump or whatever.
Mason, when I talked to Jalen Milroe yesterday, he was saying a lot of the similar kind of buzzwords as what you guys say, saying like, we've got one track mind, it's all gonna be about our preparation, our effort, and everything. Do you feel like this is maybe kind of like a mirror image of the team that's gonna be across from you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like we have similar players like them. Yeah.
Well, just like from a mentality standpoint, dude.
Oh yeah.
They're very similar to how you guys approach the game.
Yeah, kind of just like that extra motivation, from the team. I feel like they're pretty close as a team too, so it would be a good battle.
Sorry, I've been asked before. Playing with the club on your hand, getting the sack against Ohio State, your journey, what's it been like for you, and how have you developed as a player regardless of it?
Yeah, when I got hurt, I just knew I wanted to come back as fast as possible and do kind of whatever I can, whatever that meant. Just try and help the team however I could, whether that's wearing a club or stuff like that. So I feel like it's definitely helped me as a player as well.
Were you afraid when you first had that injury that you might not be able to get back on the field, or mentally, what was the initial shock when you first suffered it?
Yeah, I was kind of just frustrated in the moment because, I kind of knew right away that I hurt it pretty bad. I was like, I need to go get an X-ray and stuff like that. But I shortly knew after that I'd just get the surgery and be back in like a week or two. So I'd be fine after that.
And to see it come full circle, help out the win against Ohio State, and be here now. What does it say about you and your character?
I feel like that's just kind of how our mentality is as a team. So Coach Harbaugh, all the coaching staff kind of just preaches that into us. And I feel like it's kind of just reflected.
What's this game mean to a West Coast kid, and did you watch this game growing up?
Yeah, I watched this game a few times, but I wasn't too much tuned in to it. But a lot of history behind the game, stuff like that. Michigan's been in this game quite a few times, so it's a big thing for our program.
You and Kenneth Grant are super close roommates. You guys are always talking about each other. How important is that relationship and friendship back to you guys in your development journeys at Michigan and kind of taking big roles this season?
Yeah, I feel like it's really important. Like we do all the same things together, play the same position, stuff like that. So we're always doing stuff together, even if it's just off the field, on the field. We're kind of just always together, and it's kind of helped us, develop our friendship, and we also help each other on the field. So.
First time you saw him run, what were your impressions?
I was like, I've never seen a big guy move like that fast and that nimble before, really. So it was kind of cool to see, just eye-opening, how freakish of an athlete he actually is.
Let's talk about how he's kind of put it all together this year and become a football player.
Yeah, I kind of knew coming in that he was going to be a great player. I mean, I remember Coach Herb, when we first got in the weight room, he came up to me and Kenneth and was like, I don't know when or how, but you two are going to be the leaders on this D-line one day. So I feel like that's kind of just came full circle, and we're kind of developing into kind of that, what Herb said. So.
What's Herb meant to this program and to you?
He means a lot. Obviously, he's a strength coach. He doesn't really, he doesn't just help on the physical standpoint, but he actually helps on the mental too. He tests us, he challenges us, along with all the other strength coaches that we have. So, I feel like they're a big aspect of our program and the success of our team. And I kind of feel like it all starts with them and how we are with them. So.
The support staff, I assume, is a big part of that as well. Are you guys pretty close with them?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Who are some of those people?
What do you mean by like
Like
support?
assistant trainers and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, like the trainers and stuff like that. They help a lot. Injuries happen throughout the season. Guys are trying to play through some stuff. Obviously I had my hand, and they really helped me through that. Just a great group that, wants us to be healthy, but also wants us to play and have our best interests in mind.